games like Splatoon,
Gotcha!
Super Mario Maker,
Wanna play?
You made this?
Yep.
and Super Smash Bros. For Wii U. There's only one thing you'll be dreaming about this holiday. Play Nintendo. Play Wii U. Games rated E to E10+.
So welcome back to another Wii U collection video here on Moosen Spiel. This video is focused on the games that the console is known for. I would argue all of these are must-haves for the Wii U, and it could gain your respect into getting a Wii U yourself, especially with the Nintendo Switch coming around after this holiday season. I hope everyone looks forward to my opinions over the games, and I'd like to hear you guys' opinions once we're at the end of this. So first up on this Wii U video is Pikmin III, which I feel like is a very popular game that not a lot of people got. It's the third iteration in the Pikmin series, which was an original property that started on the GameCube. It starts out with our characters here, who are these miniature dudes from this alien world who are going through famine, and they find Earth so they can have more food. Well, their ships explode, and your three separate characters go on this journey to sort of more or less reunite. The game was originally developed for the Wii, but later changed to the Wii U. You can kinda sense that fact in the control scheme, where when you first play, the gamepad doesn't seem all that natural, but you quickly do get used to it. It is nice that you can use the gamepad as a map to see where all your Pikmin are, which is a great advantage when playing a game such as this. What you do is you have a whistle and you can control the Pikmin and you throw them to destroy certain objects in the map. New to this game are the gray Pikmin that can destroy like glass and armor, and then there are these pink ones that now destroy winged enemies, so they kind of float and give you more options. So there's a lot more strategy into this Pikmin game than there have been in the past, and it looks absolutely gorgeous. I love the fact how high definition it is. The story seems a little bit more in depth than ones in the past. I haven't played a lot of this game, but from what I have played, it's a ton of fun. The humor's all there. The new Pikmin are quite enjoyable. I love the game. I love the series. I hope we end up seeing another one for the Nintendo Switch down the line. So much like Pikmin 3, how the series started on the GameCube, this next one is one of my favorite, if not my favorite, Zelda game of all time, which is Wind Waker, the HD Remake specifically. The original one was on the GameCube, but this HD Remake refines a lot of the mechanics, cuts away a lot of the terrible gameplay. The end game, where you have to find a lot of the Triforce pieces, is quite irritating still, but the fact that now you can manually change the wind, you progress through the game a lot quicker. You don't have... The fact how breathtakingly gorgeous this game is, the cell shading, the black lining around the characters, just adds to the charm and how great this game looks. I love the fact that Nintendo went out of their way to start remaking a lot of these games, much like what we've seen in PlayStation and Xbox, but there's something about Nintendo going back in particular and remaking their titles that just feels like the games actually got better. The control scheme itself is even much better. I really like the way they use the gamepad or the motion controls. The gamepad in particular functions between both the map and the inventory system, so you can go back and forth even quicker than before. I actually preferred using the Wii U Pro controller with the gamepad on, so I could control with what feels like a better controller, and then having the map always in front of me. So you can have your own little control scheme along with just experiencing such a magical story. All the dungeons and enemies you encounter are tons of fun, just like what you want in a Zelda game. Even the story just seems to work in this game, where you have our girl Tetra getting taken, you have to go find her. You end up finding more about the world around you, why it's all Waterworld-esque. It's really a good journey to experience. I hope to even play more of the sequels. I love the Phantom Hourglass on the DS. Spirit Tracks is okay. just this whole animation of Zelda is great. You gotta get Wind Waker. So here's another heavy hitter that all Wii U owners must have. It's Donkey Kong Country Tropical Freeze. The platformer of the ages that is Donkey Kong. You can play this game on the gamepad or the television, which makes it kind of interesting in case someone else wants to use the TV. It does have a 2-player option, but boy does that add to the difficulty of the game. Just because your lives are controlled by balloons that you collect on the level, there are a few levels that you just die so many times. It may feel like a difficult game, but at the same time, it is generous in the fact that you don't have to, like in Crash Bandicoot, play multiple levels over again. The story is this, I guess the polar ice caps were melting, and the evil penguins and walruses from the north just come across Donkey Kong's island and want to take it over and make it this ice world. And of course it was Donkey Kong's birthday, so he's pissed. Basically, you just go through the levels, beating up ice creatures and the like. The game mechanics are very much similar to the previous game, which was Donkey Kong Country Returns, but the fact that it doesn't rely heavily on the motion controls, it's more like what we saw on the 3DS iteration of DK Returns. So it makes it a lot more enjoyable. The objective is to not so much just complete the level. You have your pound attack, you can jump, you get Diddy Kong as kind of a companion eventually, and a few other companions as well, and they each have their own quirks about them, such as Diddy Kong can get you to hover over enemies, and there's even a tag team attack, which is really cool. In the case of Diddy Kong here, they have this epic high-five moment, and it turns all the enemies on the screen into balloons, which will give you an extra life. You also collect these gold coins that allow you to have certain upgrades to the game. So besides doing that, you have your typical Donkey Kong. You're supposed to collect all the letters, K-O-N-G, and a puzzle piece. So it's got replay value in it for sure. It's got the barrels that we all love. You collect bananas. Once you get a certain amount of bananas, you get an extra life. I love how the game goes in and out. So again, it's Donkey Kong Country Returns in HD brilliance for the Wii U. It's definitely a must-have. Every level seems to be inherently different, asks you to do something different. There's even quirky little hidden bonus levels in which you collect a puzzle piece if you collect all the bananas quick enough in the time frame. But completing the game, you don't have to have all these little quests in each level to finish it, but it is something fun extra to do in the game. The game is epic. I love Donkey Kong. He's hilarious. The gameplay's fluid. It's just plain fun to play. So this is probably what I would argue the heavy hitter of the Wii U and the game that sold the console, which is Super Mario 3D World. Anyone, any friend that comes over and he or she wants to play the Wii U, the go-to game seems to be a Mario game if it's Nintendo. And Mario 3D World really brings back what we love about it. Just the worlds are incredibly memorable. You can switch between 4 characters: Toad, Peach, Luigi, and Mario, much like what we saw in Mario 2. The shadow effects that they use so you can kind of see where your character is at all time really helps in the smoothness of the game and where your character is, how you can tell you're jumping. Every level seems to bring another aspect to the game. You're supposed to collect green stars and stamps so you can progress through the game. The stamps are more of a fun thing so you can post to Miiverse, which is actually really fun in the game, unlike some other games that you play on the Wii U. You get your firepower, you get your Tanuki suit, and then there's other things in the game that they add, such as this little helicopter suit in which you can fly high. Usually you get these items for specific levels, and it gets you to access other things, so you can get the green star, or the stamp, or just have fun playing other levels. You see a lot of returning enemies, and enemies you just haven't seen in a while. It seems like they really wanted to bring back this fun aspect of Mario 2 that's been missing over the generations. A new suit involved in Mario 3D World that is probably the most fun is the cat suit. Now what the catsuit does is, first of all, all the characters look adorable in their little cat forms, but it has a swipe. The catsuit enables the characters to have a swipe attack and crawl up on walls to, again, access new areas. Then, of course, such as in this random level I picked for this video, you get a random ice skate, so you can go across the ice quicker. Just every level seems different, and it's a lot of fun. If you're playing multiplayer, they even have a kooky little competitive aspect where you're competing for points. So you always seem to be battling against each other with the green stars. Just a friend of mine, we're playing for fun. If you play the second level, there's a little area that you can get infinite one-ups, so then you can just have fun with a group of friends, not worrying about dying too much and just playing the game. Especially since you have the ability to throw your friend off of cliffs, which just gets super funny. The competitive aspect is definitely there. Now, the later levels do get pretty challenging, but if you die enough, you end up getting this infinite Tanuki suit, which lets you be invincible to certain enemies. Now, of course, if you go into instant death areas or fall off the sides, that doesn't help, but it basically makes you impermeable to enemies hitting you. This game in particular, for the Wii U, whether it be the music, which is incredibly memorable and catchy from level to level, even the overworld is fun. For the Wii U, Mario 3D World is not only a must-have, it's the console seller. Every console needs a game like this, and 3D World just does not disappoint. It really makes me excited to see what Nintendo does next for the Nintendo Switch. Maybe from what we've seen, it's Mario 64 kind of revamped. So this kind of reminds me of what Mario 2 did. I hope we see something better for the Nintendo Switch in time. The game is incredibly addictive. Even when you finish, there's big bonus levels and you can be Rosalina. Mario 3D World is lovely. Now I'm going to have some bias here. Splatoon is my favorite game on the Wii U. It's a multiplayer online game that is actually fun and doable in this big arena mode. But what totally sells me on the game are the lovable characters, such as every time you boot it up, you get Kaylee and Marie giving you the fresh news, and everything revolves around Squid. Basically, the big Zapfish has been taken, and that's the energy source of the town. So the single-player mode is you just go level to level, very reminiscent of a Donkey Kong kind of Mario 64-esque, where you get these scrolls, and you just complete the level to eventually go to what I would say is the most epic boss fight I've experienced in a long time. It's very memorable. I love it. The game mechanics are incredibly smooth. I'm looking forward to the game coming out on the Nintendo Switch. Not that I will get it personally, but it's for all the people that didn't get a Wii U to experience such a great game. There's even fun amiibo aspects to the game, where it gives you kind of challenges using the specific amiibos. So for example, if you have the giant squid amiibo, it gives you about 10 levels to go through as the giant squid, and then you inevitably face the final boss as the giant squid. So it's good little challenge modes, plus they fairly recently came out with the Kaylee and Marie squid amiibos to give you more aspects of the game. As you complete the single player mode, you get to upgrade your gear, you get new weapons. It's just a ton of fun. So you're basically a squid character. Not basically, you are a squid character. And what you do is you ink the world around you, and you can turn into a squid and go into the ink. And what the ink does is it protects you from the enemies firing at you, also functioning as to replenish your ink gun or your paint gun. You can climb up walls anything that you paint in the world, you can go up as a squid. So the environments are very interactive. The game is also pretty challenging. Nintendo has always made great platformers, and the fact that this is a new IP, and it takes them so long to come out with games like this, it makes me very happy to know that there still is hope for Nintendo in the future. I hope something as good as Splatoon comes out for the Nintendo Switch. And even though this particular collection series has come out to, I hope, a Nintendo Switch video, I'm looking forward to more Splatoon. I'm going to play this for years to come. It is my favorite game on the Wii U, hands down. I absolutely love it. So yeah, those 5 titles, I believe, Donkey Kong, Mario, Splatoon, they are all heavy-hitting, console-selling type of games. Now, I'd really like to know what you guys think, and what do you think was the game that sold the Wii U? No, I admit the Wii U didn't sell as well as Nintendo hoped it did. But, nonetheless, I think games like Mario 3D World and Splatoon were the games that sold the console. I know many people that are sad that they didn't get one because how good these 2 games are. I would even throw Donkey Kong Tropical Freeze, Pikmin 3. Fantastic games. I love them to death. And I'd really like to know what you guys think, and I hope you look forward to the next Wii U collection video here on Moosen Spiel.